Food is central to most aspects of our lives. From basic nourishment to being the centerpiece of ritual, food knits together family and friends and makes and triggers some of our most poignant memories. Food production and consumption is also a source of destruction and disease. Food that rots in landfills is the third largest greenhouse gas emitter next to the US and China. In the US, we waste about 40% of the food we produce, all while 1 in 8 people is food insecure, which means they do not have access to reliable and affordable, nutritious food. If food is so integral to the human experience, then why is our food system wrought with problems, and what can be done about it? Exploring these questions through the innovative lens of a technologist is what brought me to the ICTD program at the University of Colorado's Atlas Institute. This is the story about the work that followed. Over my first 18 months at Atlas, I focused my coursework on a project for the local grassroots nonprofit Boulder Food Rescue, or BFR, and the National Food Rescue Alliance, a program of BFR. This work now culminates in my ICTD practicum. I first reached out to BFR in August 2017, hoping to help with an in-house software they lovingly dubbed the Robot. The Robot software organizes the workflow of rescuing and redistributing foods for BFR and 18 other Food Rescue Alliance organizations. These edible fresh foods can no longer be sold off the shelf at donor sites, grocery stores like Whole Foods and Sprouts, where from in BFR's case, volunteer food couriers transport 80% of food donations by bike, carrying nutrient-dense produce direct to consumers at recipient sites, like low-income housing communities, where residents might not otherwise have access to such foods. Each year, the Food Rescue Alliance collectively moves millions of pounds of food between donor and recipient sites, diverting methane-emitting waste from landfills and increasing access to fresh produce. The Alliance plays a critical role in food systems change by working with the unique needs of their local communities using a participatory approach. This approach is one of the reasons I was motivated to work on behalf of BFR and the Alliance across the 2 years of my ICTD master's program. As it turns out, I asked about helping with the robot at just the right time. Originally built by a volunteer in 2012, this open source software was never developed past an MVP, or minimum viable product. It works, but not as efficiently or effectively as it could. So BFR asked me to support them through the process of making a critical decision. Should they continue to invest time, energy, and resources into the robot? Should they take on the mammoth project of fundraising for professional development of new software? Or should they adopt an existing software in the small but burgeoning market for food rescue organizing software? I was motivated to tackle these questions, and over the next 18 months, through almost all of my courses, I executed a focused set of related investigative and design projects. All of this work set the stage for my practicum, a culminating project that I hope will position BFR and the Food Rescue Alliance to replace the robot with successful new software adoption. While the goal of my practicum is to support successful software adoption, the work of my practicum is to make sense of all the data and experimentation of the past 18 months. I'm doing this in part through strategic change facilitation, tailored specifically to ensure purposeful, values-aligned technology adoption in a nonprofit setting. I have been on the staff side of a nonprofit as it adopts new technology and have experienced how technological determinism, or the idea that technology determines social structure and cultural values, can hurt both culture and people at a nonprofit. Resource-constrained organizations are particularly vulnerable to being shaped by technology when they lack the money, time, focus, and expertise to harness technology to meet their specific needs. If the purpose of a technology is to help execute a nonprofit mission, like creating a more just and less wasteful food system, the stakes are high, and the technology is at risk of failing both the nonprofit and the people it serves. So taking into consideration all that we have learned about BFR's option for new technology adoption, I am developing a set of inquiry-based activities to help their staff better understand how they currently use information and communication technology, or ICTs, at their organization. By gaining a clear understanding of both the effective and ineffective ways that BFR and the Alliance currently use ICTs, they can use new food rescue organizing software adoption as an opportunity to redefine or more clearly define why, what, and how all types of ICTs, from email to social media to new software, support their mission and their daily workflow in purposeful and values-aligned ways. This, I hope, will be a final step in guiding them toward making a decision about whether to adopt an existing software or to pursue developing a unique in-house software which requires significant fundraising. Because I have a professional background in nonprofit fundraising, I am also providing some fundraising coaching to BFR as part of my practicum, which includes editing grant language, meeting with grant officers from interested foundations, and providing board fundraising training activities to help prep them for a potential big raise. At the close of the semester, I will have invested 2 years of my time, energy, and passion into a project that will continue on after I graduate. With that in mind, I can't imagine simply walking away without seeing BFR and the Alliance through to the point of successful software adoption, in part by helping them to strengthen the organizational infrastructure and culture into which they integrate that software. So soon, I will look for an opportunity to formalize my continued involvement in the project. Who knows? Maybe I'll join the Boulder Food Rescue board.